Yes, everybody, what's happening? Manchester United have beaten Real Sociedad 4-0 and effectively, if not completely, finished the tie on the night. Can't ask for more than that. United have got the work done, kept a clean sheet, scored multiple goals in Europe. Still counts as an away game, so the away goals rule will still count. And that's it, job done. We did it with, probably a 20-25% rotated side, and we put together what could have been a pretty tricky tie to bed very early, with a couple of decent individual performances, without anyone ever really breaking sweat and looking completely sensational, which is one of those, I guess. Some questions popping off in the chat. We are on Twitch and we are on YouTube. We'll be doing some more Twitch stuff tomorrow. So make sure you come and get in the mixer with us on that one. And also come and check us out on Twitch if you haven't done so already. Surprised at how lackluster they were? A little bit. I think Sociedad, if you was watching the watch along over on Stretford Paddock at halftime, me and Ronaldo had a conversation and I was saying, I think what's happened is United have played this game at Premier League, Manchester United sort of intensity. And for the first half an hour, I think it'd be fair to say, Real Sociedad tried to do the same thing. And because they tried to do the same thing, they also kept an extremely tight pair of banks of four. And that made it quite difficult for United to kind of get any sort of rhythm in between the lines. Ultimately, we found quite a lot of joy going over the top and round the corner from them a little bit. And I think that's the one. That was where we started to find a little bit of joy. Once we scored that first goal, they started to crumble a little bit. And I think halftime came at a good time for them. And I think that if I was their manager at halftime, I would have got the lads in and I said, right, listen, one goal gets us back into this. So if I'm United manager at halftime, I go, listen, 10, 15 minutes, fullbacks don't cross the halfway line. Let's sit back a little bit. Let's soak it up because this is going to be their big push. If they get a goal now, they might get two. So we don't give them a chance. We don't make any mistakes. We maybe keep a lid on it for 10 or 15 minutes, ride out this inevitable storm that's about to come, and then we'll turn it up and we'll start playing at our intensity again. And it didn't go exactly like that, but it kind of, very broad strokes, went a little bit like that. United rode it out, second half, started turning it on, a couple of quick balls, we found ourselves in behind again, we found ourselves creating opportunities again, and we found ourselves scoring some goals. And I thought it was going to end up at 3-0 to United. United went one better and went 4-0. And it was a good professional performance in knockout European football. And I hope now that Solskjaer takes this back to Old Trafford, gives the likes of Diallo, who I thought looked bright in the few minutes that we saw of him, gives those players such as Donny van der Beek much needed game time. Maybe Axel Tuanzebe, zero pressure, gets a full 90 minutes as well. And uses it as an opportunity for a bit of a break for some of the players like Harry Maguire and Bruno Fernandes and Marcus Rashford that desperately need it. Let's have a look at some of the comments. People are asking what's the Twitch. It's Steve Howson over on Twitch. I think it isn't in the description below, but I'll start putting it into the description below for you guys as well. Not a drama. We've got some notes here. Let's have a look. So Diallo completed 3 out of 3 dribbles tonight in just the 12 minutes that he was on the pitch. That's happy days. Carl says, why can't I leave a super chat? Don't know, mate. You should be able to, as far as I'm aware. Notch says, can Diallo be effective on the left as well as on the right? I reckon probably, but I do want to see him on the right-hand side. I guess Dan James was playing all right, so he kept him on the right-hand side, but I would have liked to have seen Diallo on the right-hand side myself. Dan James involved in 3 goals in his last 2 United appearances, with a goal against Southampton and a goal and an assist against Sociedad. Not sure how much credit I give him for the assist, because I think it was a heavy touch that Bruno was like, I'll take it from here, don't worry. Marcus Rashford, 27 goals in 38 games in all competitions this season, 17 goals and 10 assists. Honestly, that's sensational. It's very, very good return there from Marcus, and 7 goals in Europe this season with only Erling Haaland. That scored more. Bruno Fernandes involved in 32 goals in 36 games in all competitions this season with 21 goals and 11 assists. Quite frankly, ridiculous. Henderson over De Gea, says Mutu. Didn't really have a lot to do tonight. I think it would be unfair to judge him on the back of this. But it was a clean sheet. And we haven't been keeping enough of those. So you could make a case for go to the places where you're going to get clean sheets. I think that would be something that I would consider doing if I was manager. And I'd let them duke it out properly, to be honest with you. Hendo in, says Gaz. All right, let us know in the comments what you guys think. Give us a thumbs up if you would change it. And then let us know in the comments, are you De Gea or Hendo? And then maybe why as well, actually. And let's see what comes up on that one. Dennis says Henderson, to be fair. Ellis says David. Who got man of the match? I don't know, actually. I don't know who got man of the match. Let's see what all you guys are saying. Hendo in. There's a lot of people. Harry saying, has Scott got the tools to be considered as a serious centre-back? Not sure, to be honest. Let's head over to the Discord group and get some questioners up for you. For some reason, that's opened up my calendar. Didn't mean to do that. Here we go. Discord opening. Get rid of the calendar. Henderson in for the next 10 games at least, says Jake. Well, 10 games at least is definitely a drop-in. If you're going to do that one. Henderson for his command of area and distribution. I think that it is better than David's, I think it would be fair to say. Fred really showing how pivotal he was to midfield. I thought McTominay and Fred didn't have the greatest first half. I thought they allowed the game to be very, very end-to-end. And I think that was why Matic came on for McTominay a little bit later in the game. Because it was quite end-to-end and it didn't need to be end-to-end. By the end of the game, United was in complete control. And I think some of that was down to Matic, and I think some of that was down to that Sociedad had just punched themselves out and just realised that United was in control, and they probably, by that point, wanted to limit the damage on how it was going down anyway, I think. Rodney says, they mentioned in the commentary that Mata has been away. Any more details on this? Nope, not a clue. Is it time to give Henderson a run in the team after frequent clean sheets? You got to look at the opposition he gets to come in against, for one, but I think you also have to look at the pure fact that he's keeping clean sheets and put something on that. I don't know what that means. Do I think Greenwood has done enough to finally get ahead of Marshall? I do, actually. Now that we're 4 up, is it time to bring Shaw, Tyre and Ahmad into the starting 11? I think Shura, Tire, I think it'd be a bit too soon for him. Diallo, I think, I'd start Diallo. I would start Diallo. And I'd maybe go Diallo and James to start, to be honest. I'm not sure James is going to feature in the league. Maybe go Diallo, James. We might have pulling the strings. Maybe Mason down the middle. Why not? Does the convincing nature of this win suggest that we might be able to pick up form in the league again? Well, you've got Newcastle, then you've got some rough games coming up. So, not necessarily. Reckon Ahmad will be playing on the left in the future. This club hates right wing. No, I'm not sure. I think it might have been a little bit on Dan James's performance why they brought him on the left. I think he will play on the right. Will says, Ahmad for man of the match. I think everyone would all be in agreement. Let me know in the comments. Who is man of the match? Really, I'd like to see a front three of Hugill and Diallo. Or James Hugill and Diallo. I'd be amazed if Hugill does. James Clay doesn't have the talent of our other forwards. This is from Will. In the last few appearances, he's been effective. Can it be a good option in the right circumstances? It's a squad game. I'm not taken with James, to be honest. We've got Fred, Bruno, Dan James. Bruno was clear. James, Ahmad, Fred, Tellez. Was genuinely concerned when we drew Sociedad. Likewise, it was one of the worst draws we could have get. But does this result show how far we've come since then, or have Sociedad seen a decline in form? Sociedad definitely seen a decline in form. If I'm not mistaken, they were top of the league when they drew us. Let me know. Am I jumping on the Ahmad train? I was on it 2 weeks ago. I'm driving it now. The front three of Ahmad, Mason, and Shoretire for... No, I think it'll be James. I think Shoretire is far too soon yet. Louis Sharp says, we created 8 big chances, just playing devil's advocate. But really, is conversion something we've improved on? Or granted, they were awful? I think a little bit that they were awful. Am I going to get completely Sociedaded for the next leg? I haven't decided yet. We'll talk about this on the Paddock Pod, which is coming out soon, where I figure out what's going out with, not the Paddock Pod, the Patreon Pod, where we talk about a little bit what's going on with the weight loss challenge thing. Is Telles starting to find his feet in his team now? I'm not necessarily seeing anything different in his performances that I've seen all season. I think defensively his coverage is phenomenal. And I think going forward he offers as much as Luke Shaw does. I really didn't get, as I'm sure I've mentioned once or twice, the hype that Luke Shaw was getting from, quite ordinary performances. But, we're not going to agree on everything, so it is what it is. Ross says Freddie was mint on the watch along. Freddie is mint. But yeah, I wouldn't mind having Freddie on more often. He's great. How much are we betting we get Spurs in the next round? Oh. And Alex says if Mourinho was manager in this game, it would have ended 0-0 100%. You might have a point on that one. I think you might have a point on that one. Why did we sub Scott off? Just, don't always have to have a reason. It's the one sometimes, isn't it? When is acceptable to give Bruno the captaincy? I think that's part of a longer debate, to be honest. And I think that there's a lot of privilege afforded to Maguire for some under par performances and other stuff because he's the captain and because he's a record signing that you just don't get if you don't have those two things attached to your name. Because if you dropped him, even if you just rested him, people write stories. Solskjaer doesn't trust his £80 million record signing. Or you drop him or rest him and people are like, oh, he doesn't trust his captain. He's lost the captaincy and things like that. And people try and create agendas out of absolutely nothing. And it's sad, but it happens, and it happens frequently. Is Henderson a Europa League goalkeeper? Well, we've only played one game in the Europa League with him here, so I think it's a bit early to say. Could Bruno win the Ballon d'Or? Yeah, we'd have to win all sorts. You've got to win a lot now. People don't generally win the Ballon d'Or without winning everything at the moment. Carrick on a touchline, way more emotion. Don't take the captain's armband off Harry. Personally, think he grew in his performance when he got it. I don't necessarily agree with that, to be honest. Was I impressed with Januzaj? No. Bay has to play every game he can for the rest of the season. I think Alex said this a bit ago, that if Bay plays to the end of the year, we'll win the league. Obviously he didn't, and we didn't. One of them, I guess, isn't it? Hendo dominated his area, says John. I would agree with that one. Righty, I'm going to wrap it up. We'll obviously have 5 things coming, but we'll also a Patreon pod coming out tomorrow as well. So there's a bit of time left to get your questions in for that. If you'd like to support the channel, and we're trying to figure out some more ways to bring more content. We used to do vlogs, but with COVID, it's not really done having someone just follow you around with a camera all the time. So we'll be having a chat about that. But if you'd like to support the channel, then check the link below and get involved. And I hope you all enjoyed that game tonight, because I did. And you've got to remember, man, this is about enjoyment. And, it's a hobby. And it's shit not being able to go to the stadium and all the rest of the impact our lives have had over the last year. But you got to remember, it is about enjoyment. And when we win 4-0 and we make it look comfortable and good like we did, you've got to enjoy it. So enjoy it. Go and watch all the highlights again. Go and go watch Bets of the Watch Along again. Get on, fucking read blogs and fucking retweet the shit out of everything that you can on there, and all the people that have made content about this. You got to fucking enjoy your wins. Don't let people tell you it's only Sociedad. Fuck them people. You don't need them in your life. Go and enjoy the win in a bit.